The large intestine is continuous with the distal region of the small intestine called the ileum. Through the ileocecal valve, the ileum connects to the first portion of the large intestine called the cecum. And then distal to the cecum is the appendix. Moving from the cecum upwards is the ascending colon. You can see how the ascending colon travels up, turns at the right colic flexure into the transverse colon, which traverses the body from the right to the left. The left colic flexure is where the colon or bowel turns and starts traveling inferiorly as the descending colon. At the distal end of the descending colon, there is an S-shaped region of the colon that's known as the sigmoid colon. The sigmoid colon leads into the rectum. And then the last portion of the large intestine is the anal canal. Taking a look at the wall of the large intestine, the epithelial tissue in the mucosa is simple columnar epithelial tissue. Notice in the large intestine, there aren't the folds of the mucosa, the plica circularis, and we also don't see villi. And so the surface area of the large intestine is lower than what we see in the small intestine. There are on those simple columnar cells microvilli that coat the surface, and the large intestine does absorb water and salt, but the surface area is much less. We can see the presence of goblet cells. Goblet cells are mucus-secreting cells, and then we can also see the intestinal glands, which are pit-like glands, also known as the crypts of Lieberkühn, and the secretion from these glands is primarily salt water and mucus. There are no digestive enzymes that are secreted by the large intestine. Underneath the epithelium is the lamina propria, bed of loose connective tissue. We can see a lymph node is located there. And then underneath the lamina propria is the muscularis mucosae. Underneath the three layers of the mucosa is the submucosa, a thicker layer of connective tissue with the blood supply, nerve supply, lymphatic nodules. Below that is the muscularis externa, the inner circular coat, and the outer longitudinal coat portion of the wall of the large intestine. The coating on the outside is called the serosa.